This is also from the Daily Wire. It says a Fort Lauderdale, Florida police chief was fired after an investigation stated that he had asked which one is blacker when considering a promotion, and also allegedly pointed to photographs in a conference room of the department's command staff saying, that wall is too white and I'm going to change that. Former Fort Lauderdale police chief Larry Serotto, 48, the first openly gay police chief hired in Fort Lauderdale, was fired last Thursday after bias complaints filed last October with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission prompted that prompted an investigation. 2 police officers said they had been denied promotions based on race, sexual orientation, and gender. City manager Chris Lagerblum informed the police department he would freeze all promotions until further notice to address concerns surrounding the recent police department promotions. Now, this is a really interesting story because you don't often hear about people in these positions getting fired for anti-white bias. I mean, it almost never happens. And you could point out that what this police chief was saying, that we need to be blacker. That's too white. Too many white candidates. That's like the official policy in many states and in many of these institutions, including academia. That's what affirmative action is. And it's also discriminatory and racist. But he came out and said, and some employees actually had the courage, I think the real courage here, given the backlash that they could have experienced, had the courage to go to not accept that. And they went to the Equal Rights Commission and reported this because this is racial bias. And this is exactly what needs to happen. You know, I've made this exact point about employees at these woke companies who are forced to sit for CRT training where they're singled out by race and told that if you're white, here are all the bad things about you. And here's what you need to say if you're white. And here's what you need to think and believe. And, you know, even in some cases, having these indoctrination sessions, the brainwashing sessions where only white people are required to attend. I mean, that sort of thing. That is blatant discrimination. The law actually forbids that. Okay. Now, I'm sure the left, Democrats, they would like to change the law to explicitly allow for anti-white racism in these contexts. But as of right now, they haven't done it. So we do have equal rights laws, which if you read the way the laws are written, it says that you're not allowed to single anybody out for harassment, negative treatment, or anything like that based on their race. And the way the law is written, it doesn't say as long as they're black. It just says based on race. The companies get away with it because they're really hardly ever sued for it. These things are not reported. And the employees just kind of sit there and endure it. And maybe they'll take pictures and they'll put it on Twitter and it'll go viral and people will complain about it, and that's fine. Like what happened with, Coca-Cola. I mean, there's been a bunch of companies. And sure, go ahead and do that, but then sue them for illegal racial discrimination against you as a white employee. So that's real racism. Let's go to some fake racism. I just wanted to mention this. Serena Williams is wildly successful and famous athlete. She's worth, I'm sure, hundreds of millions of dollars. They just made a movie about her. She's just celebrated and loved and everything. But she is still a victim. So the New York Times did a story about Serena Williams. And in the print version, apparently, there still is a print version. So that's the real headline news to me. In the print version, they apparently put a picture with the story that was not Serena Williams. It was, her sister. It was the wrong picture. And these kinds of mistakes happen, right? But Serena Williams was not willing to just say, oh, okay, well, mistakes happen. Who cares? I mean, everyone knows who I am. I don't have to worry that I'm being erased here. People are going to forget what I look like. She couldn't do that. So instead, she sends out a tweet. No matter how far we come, we get reminded that it's not enough. This is why I raised $111 million for Serena Ventures, to support the founders who are overlooked by ingrained systems woefully unaware of their biases. Because even I am overlooked. You could do better. Yes, even Serena Williams is overlooked. Serena Williams, who they did the article about her. Okay, Serena, the article was about you. You're overlooked in an article about you. one of the hundreds of articles that have been written about you through your career? I'm being overlooked. I'm a victim of racism. This is what the racial indoctrination on the left gets you. It's just, you end up with people who are totally unwilling. They're just looking for every possible slight and totally unwilling to extend any grace whatsoever. Always assuming the worst possible motivations. Okay? In the world of the race hustler, there are no innocent mistakes. There are no oversights. There's nothing inconvenient can happen to you that is not grounded in racism. So Serena Williams, another victim. We should all apologize to her for this horrible life that we forced her to live as a multimillionaire athlete. Hey, listen, hit the subscribe button. Do it right now. I demand it. And I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.